Oh man, let's get rocking and rolling. You're going to see a lot of videos about this today, by the way. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to go through it as quick as I possibly can and just give you my take on the entire thing and about how these cards, the alpha, beta, gamma, omega, super playtest cards, right? The ones that popped up last year that everybody had questions about. Some news has come out about those cards. Everyone knows which ones I'm talking about. The really weird looking ones, the ones that are extra old looking, the original, the oldest ones, the ones CGC hopped all over and graded, and everybody was like, huh, what's up with these? Let me start by saying this, okay? There has been a lot of people, I would say on the ground level, your average foot fucking stomper in this community, the regular average Joe, a lot of people were very suspicious of these. A lot of people thought the timing was weird, and a lot of people are going to claim that they were like, oh, these are very strange. And I would say the average person agree with that. The people that I most remember making content about this and really putting their foot down when this thing was a big deal, credit where credit's due, say how you feel about him. Rattle Pokemon. I remember him putting a video out there, and he was definitely one of the first people to be like, what the hell are these things? A lot of people share that sentiment. He made the video. Brian from Pokey and E also made a video just going like, what the hell are these things? Why are these here? What the hell is up with these beta, alpha, omega, super duper cards that are just popping up, these little playtest cards? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's these cards right here. It's these suckers, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, okay, these are apparently some of the original cards. These were just to set up the actual Pokemon TCG, and a lot of these were introduced last year. These were heavily talked about. This was brought out by Gem Mint Pokemon, I believe, is the one that was pushing these. At least this is the first person I saw who even mentioned any kind of stuff with them. One of the big things a lot of people had a problem with that these cards just surfaced is everyone kept saying they were authentic. Everybody kept saying these cards were legitimate, and we have trusted methods of proving that. No one ever said what those trusted methods were, and we just had to take the word of Gem Mint Pokemon CGC and allegedly Akabane, which is one of the actual founding fathers of the Pokemon TCG, right? That's who we had to take word for this. And he may have said it, I don't know. I've never actually seen Akabane say anything about this. I've never seen a video of him talk about it. May exist, may not exist. To this day, I haven't seen it. Maybe it's out there. I just remember Gem Mint Pokemon and CGC talking about how real and how authentic these cards were because they fucking said so. Don't worry. There's provisions for this. We have the privileged information. It's not privileged to you. We have our own ways, but trust, bro. These are some good cards right here. These are the shitness right here. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole article. You're going to see plenty of people talking about this. I just want to give my perspective on this entire thing. An E4 article popped up where a lot of these Pokemon playtest cards were likely printed in 2024. So a lot of these printers and these printing facilities have like this little fucking code, this little dot braille looking code thing, look like Reggie Rock Ice and Steel. We're about to be fucking summoned, Relicanth Whale Lord style, right? And if you look, they actually have an alleged date based off this. I'll have this article linked in the description below. Please go check it out. Please go check other creators. This is something where being speculative will save people a good amount of money, maybe in the future. So this pattern right here exists on cards. Apparently you have to have like high resolution imaging. You have to be able to like color correct certain things and actually highlight these dots. And based off the code, based off what's going on, they actually deduced that this was printed in 2024, June 29th. So your fucking Twilight Masquerade cards are older than some of these cards allegedly based off what was going on here. And this is something that was discovered on a good chunk of these cards. Now, some people are sympathizing. Some people are saying that these cards are real still, that some of them are real, some of them are fake, some of them are being printed in Chinese fucking facilities, some of them are just being made, like there's still some real ones out there. And that may be true, okay? That very well may be the case. But one of the things that never helped with any of this stuff was just how they popped up, and there was like zero transparency with any of these. They just kind of fucking popped up one day, and well, bam, you're just supposed to trust that these cards are the oldest ones that existed in the community. It's fucking crazy, and it's not really too surprising, at least to me, that there is some evidence that this might not be the real deal, that we might be looking at some cards that people made to make some money. I don't know how far this conspiracy goes. I don't know how far any of this is, but I'm telling you one thing, there's a lot of people in this space who are fucking using Pokemon cards to fund their retirement, their fucking mansions, their yachts, their new cars, all of this stuff. Our hobby is being turned into this, and the motivation to do all this stuff would be money. 110%, and people peddling this bullshit, if it's not real, is something that should definitely be taken seriously. At best case scenario, it's negligence. Worst case scenario, it's fraud. I don't know. We'll see how far that goes. I'm sure independent agencies will be looking at that, but Jesus Christ, man. Another thing that really doesn't help too is there's a lot of people who I feel like bought into these cards who are still believers, which by all means, you're still allowed to have this. There's people that are basically saying it doesn't necessarily matter when these cards have been printed. It matters that the imaging from 1995 or 1996 is the important part of it. The authentic image is there. So these cards still remain valuable and these cards still remain very, very good. And you should still be on the lookout for these, especially the ones graded by CGC, which CGC did not need any other things tarnishing their reputation. They had enough going against them to begin with, okay? CGC has been having a lot of people still grade cards through them, and that is something that is good, but they did not need anything else, and this is definitely going to be a hit to their reputation if this turns out to be, like, legitimate in any way, shape, or form, which is shaping up to look like there might be a good chunk of salt to this for people to be like, huh, that's weird. And it's crazy because people are like, it doesn't matter the year. So these are how this is advertised, okay? This is how it is right here. CGC, Pokemon 1996, Japanese beta playtest mounted on card. Now, I don't know what mounted on card means. That sounds suspicious in itself. Somebody did bring that up. That is very strange to put that, but they're not being advertised as 2024 cards. They're being advertised as 1996 cards, which is why they were fetching the price point they were and why they weren't fucking fetching modern price points of 2024 cards being printed. It's crazy to me that anybody would just jump in front of that and like, it doesn't matter when they were printed. It 100% matters when they were printed because that's how they were advertised to the community, and that's how people fucking base their financial decisions on whether or not they were going to purchase these cards, as if they were truly old and the original ones from fucking Pokemon, Akabane, and they were like, it's like CGC authenticated this shit, right? That's what people wanted to know. If it was like, it's crazy. Like, jumping in front of that is insane. There's also people saying that Akabane just did an interview a few days ago to explain all the playtest card issues, how many were blah, 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 and selling recently. This will be clear, and the cards will be valuable. Sure, whatever, maybe, possibly. There could be some that are out there that are real. I'm not going to just say every single one of them's fake, but how do we know which ones are fake? How are we going to actually know that that's the case? I thought we had grading companies that would be able to tell us or actually authenticate that shit for us, but it does not appear so, and it kind of just is another tarnish on CGC's never-ending list of things that just make their reputation not favorable in any sense in this hobby. Regular people here were skeptical of this. A lot of people were. Some people bought into it, and the people that actually bought into it, unfortunately, it was a lot of this floating around. I don't know how high that goes up in our fucking community. A lot of elite collectors were over here like going about this stuff. And we do have an elite problem in our Pokemon space where top tier cards and top tier people with those cards make decisions for the rest of us, and we can't really have any say on that shit. If something's this price, well, I'm going to pay that price to fucking financially set stuff at that, and these cards were an example of that. If they were real and they were advertised as that, I could kind of understand the appeal, but it's kind of shaping like 2024 cards are being charged 1996 prices, and that's a real shame. And a grading company put their fucking seal of approval on it, and I guess we'll see how far this whole thing goes. We'll see. There's going to be plenty of other videos out. Go check out the other creators that are doing this stuff. The more people that know about this, the better. The more tinfoil you had on your head about this entire thing, the more money you could have potentially saved. And I truly do feel bad if there's people that purchased one of these and it turned out that they're not from 1996 and they shelled out 5 figures for them. I really do feel bad because I understand in theory why someone would want these cards. I'd never pay that price. I was never on board with them, but I understand for the sake of Pokemon history, and I will agree with Julian about this thing. If they were real and it was like 1996, 1995 and all that stuff, I really truly do believe they should have been in a museum and they should have been open for people to look at, because that would have been a nice little piece of Pokemon history right there, instead of being fucking elite playthings, elite fucking cards to be traded for people to jerk each other off for how much money they have in this Pokemon space, while they're watching us basically try to defend ourselves from people going to fucking Costco and Sam's Club and Target, assaulting people, pushing people out of the way, and taking all the product that's meant for fucking regular people and selling it at their stores, with people defending scalping at this point. I don't care. It's crazy that those people make the decisions for us. Let me know how you feel about it. Like, it's insane. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. Save your money. Watch your ass. This isn't the last time we're going to see any crap like this, too. It's crazy CGC as well. It's always CGC. And that was one of the big things that it was like, if they put there's always room for speculation if they put their name on it, too. It's a real shame. Their reputation really doesn't need any more tarnishing. It really does not.